Happy Saturday morning, everyone. Today, in Season 2, Episode 8 of What is My Story Today, we will talk about how do we find calm in chaos. With that topic, I have invited a good friend and colleague and co-facilitator in EYGDS and a previous SGD colleague as well, Levi de Guzman, to talk about the topic. But before that, let me thank our dear sponsor for today's episode, Mr. Right Style Fragrances. Without further ado, let me invite our dear guest of honor for today's episode.
Yan, hello.
Hello!
Audible naman ako, audible.
Hello. Narinig mo ako?
Clear naman, clear. Clear ba ako, clear? Hindi ko kasi sure.
Yes, very
Okay,
clear.
perfect. Ayan.
Alright. Lev, I know hindi ito yung personality mo na makipag-usap sa public. Pero first of all, thank you so much for taking the time today and for accepting my ambush invitation to be my guest. Yay, thank you. Ayun sabi ko, lahat ng guest ko, ina-ambush ko lang talaga eh. Pero matagal na din kasi na, alam mo yun, it's already a plan to invite you in this season. And I'm glad na despite your busy schedule, you're able to find time for today.
Care naman.
Ayun.
You can make time naman.
Yay, thank you. Sige, okay, let's begin, in the interest of time also. So, first question ko always, Lev, for my guest would be, I'm checking on how are you today?
I'm fine. Wait lang, medyo na-pressure ako kasi yung kapatid ko nandito pala. Ayan. Sige. Yeah, I'm fine naman ngayon. I mean, better than normal. So, ayun. I think, on the general sense, yes.
Okay. Well, I hope you're doing fine even though you're far from home now. Pero ayun, let's see how the conversation will go through our line of questioning also.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned, di ba, you were asking me na pahingi naman ako ng agenda kung ano yung pag-uusapan natin. pero I cannot give you the questions ahead of time.
Surprise.
Pero yun, anyway, siguro let's go back in time lang, Liv, when you were a child. So, when you were still a child, well, you you're still young at the moment. So, everyone naman, di ba, sabi nila is young at heart. So, when you were a child, how do you view the world outside home?
I think when I was a child, parang I see the world outside na parang ang daming things to explore, pero it's not something na parang, although there are like things to explore, it's not something that I really want to explore. Parang ganun. Ang weird lang. Pero parang ganun yung ko. Like, Oo, yung impression ko. Kasi I'm not really like the outgoing type na nasa bahay lang naman talaga ako most of the time. Ayun.
So where do you usually get the idea that there's something to explore outside?
The internet, of course. And then, yung mga experiences ng mga tao from what I've been hearing, diba? So, syempre, yung mga friends and family na parang telling me, okay, you have to experience this. Ayun. Pero, yun lang naman. Pero it's not that enticing enough for me to go out.
Yeah. It's like you have an idea about it, pero you also have some reservations for yourself,
Yeah.
To really do. Yeah, parang ganun nga. Well, I can relate to that also. And, ako naman, when I got to go to Manila for work in SGB, that's the time that I felt na, okay, there's something to explore nga talaga outside. And anyway, for you naman, Lev, even though you're not that into it before, so how did you respond muna to a lot of things that's happening from the usual things that you do when you were still in the comfort of your own home?
Ayun, na parang I realize na kapag nasa comfort lang ako kapag nandun ako sa comfort zone ko, like in general, sabihin na natin comfort zone ko, like physically is yung bahay, Ayan, and then yung mga places that I'm just familiar with, na parang there's not much growth na napapansin ko for me as a person din, of
Mm.
course. Ayun, kaya parang, ayun nga, na parang, it just came to me na parang, need ko na talagang like, pag-go out, pumunta ko saan-saan.
Correct. Agree. Pero sige, here's the thing, Lev. So, every day naman also, yeah, I know you have a typical day, no? That, let's say, a routine or whatnot. So,
Mm.
even before you start your day, no, despite all the rush and the worries, no, for all your responsibilities. So, how do you keep yourself, organized in a way, no? Even though there's a lot of things that's happening.
Ay, nakakahirap sagutin, kuya, kasi ako, personally, based on my personal, like,
Uh,
assessment, hindi ako organized. Na parang, I just remember things on top of my head. May nililista ako. May listahan
mm,
lang ako, pero no, most
yeah,
of the
yeah.
time, hindi yun yung nasusunod. Ayun, pero basta it's just like yung adrenaline that keeps me going.
But But at
Mm-mm.
least, no, nagkikip ka ng list. Actually, sa previous episode ko, yung mga guests ko kasi are also women. Sabi nga nila, that's actually a trait of women to list down the things that they would like to do.
Oo.
And
Kasi,
I noticed na hindi yan ginagawa ng mga lalaki.
ito ba?
Oo, totoo.
Akala ko
I
parang
think, I think
it's a
that's,
thing for everyone.
sige.
Hindi, akala ko lang parang ano siya talaga, like, lahat ng tao ginagawa, yung list.
Uh, so now, medyo na-attest ko ngayon na trait nga talaga siya ng babae kasi ng mga nakausap ko last week, nagle-list down din talaga sila ng mga gagawin. So parang ako, naisip ko, okay, it might be not conclusive, pero in general, ladies really have that trait
I
to
think.
list down the things.
Feeling ko
Kaya
kasi
ayun.
parang, it gives us a better sense of control over things kapag
Ah,
nakikita ko like kung ano yung mga need kong gawin na although hindi ko siya matapos lahat, at least alam ko kung ano yung need ko pang gawin. Ayun.
ah.
Kaya
Okay.
naman.
Now you mentioned about control, Lev, no? So you know naman that in this pandemic, no, it's beyond our control.
True.
So the question is, biglang suspense yung question. So how do you untangle your thoughts, no? Despite the things that you have an idea that you cannot really control the things that's
Mm-mm.
happening around. So how do you untangle your mind in
Ayun.
those cases?
Actually, super ano niyan, super timely nung question, kuya. Kasi parang I've been asking like friends na
Mm.
about how to control my thoughts. Kasi like,
Mm-mm.
siguro, I mean, this is something that I can already talk about kasi it's something that I've
Uh,
already moved past partially, pero at least significantly I've moved past it. So I have like diagnosis like bipolar depression. And
mm-hmm.
it comes along with that condition, yung parang intrusive thoughts come in
Uh,
palagi. Like, for example, nag-work ako and then bigla-bigla ko na lang may isip na, okay, sige, meron nangyaring gantong in the past. Tapos, maalala ko
uh,
na lang. Parang ganun. So,
uh,
ngayon, yung parang I was able to move past that kahit papano kasi I'm trying to now like antagonize my own thoughts nandun na parang, yun nga, na parang, yun nga, isa yung kuya na parang kapag may nangyayari,
uh,
parang, it's something that's out of my control. Why should I bother thinking about it? Na
yeah.
parang, kapag may naisip ako na it's something just as a result of just overthinking, na parang what could have, I mean, syempre, may isip natin kung ano yung mga things that might go wrong. Pero, I mean, on the other
Uh,
side,
uh,
there are things that can go better. Kaya yun yung nakahelp sa akin, I think, to just, I think the term is compartmentalize my thoughts kasi nakakategorize ko na siya kahit papano. Kahit papano lang naman, hindi like completely.
yeah. Well, it's fine, no? Kasi at least you're identifying action points also to
Mm-hmm.
help you address what you're going through. And thanks, Lev, for sharing that. No, I know there might be some people also who are undergoing that situation like yours. And I hope that they can learn from this conversation also.
Mm-mm.
And with that said, Lev, Well, sabi nga nila, no man is an island, di ba? So,
Mm-mm.
who or what experiences has helped you, overcome a situation that you're experiencing right
Ah, syempre thankful din ako sa family. Dito
now?
may
Mm.
kapatid ko, sure. Hindi, kasi ano, yung parang, akala ko kasi nung una, kasi di ba naman may mga, stigma sa ganito, na
Oo.
parang kapag, nag-iinarte ka lang, parang ganun, something na, kaya mo yan, parang ganun-ganun lang. Pero, I saw the support from my family na parang sila
Mm.
pa yung naghahatid sa akin sa therapy. Parang, ayun. Ayun, it's one of the things na nakatulong din. And then, apart from that, yung mga friends that are also going through the same.
Mm.
I mean, kilala nila
Mm.
sarili nila, pero kasi may kanya-kanya rin kami mga therapy sessions. Hi!
Oo, yeah, yeah,
Ayan.
yeah.
Ayan. So, may kanya-kanya therapy session. So, I mean, kung ano yung natutunan nila from there, na-apply
Mm.
ko rin. And
Actually,
then,
share.
ayun. Yeah.
Oo.
So, I think that's what helped me get through. And of course, parang need talaga ng, tulungan mo sarili mo. It's not just like outside forces. It has to be coming from the inside.
Mm. Yeah, correct, no? So, speaking of that, Liv, who or what do you consider as your peaceful place?
Hmm. Ano ba? Like, figuratively or like literally?
Depende sa'yo.
I think peaceful place ko lang talaga yung like sarili kong kwarto. Like, to be
Oo.
honest. Kaya I just want everything, lahat. Kaya gusto ko kompleto lahat ng facilities ko sa loob ng kwarto.
Ayan, nakita ko nga, di ba, yung work area mo dati. Sabi ko, ang ganda naman ng work area mo. Ang daming, uh,
Mm-mm. Kasi parang it helps me. So, I mean, kapag feeling mo pag nakikita mo na may makita kang maganda, parang
uh,
medyo nakakakalma din. Ayun.
uh,
Ayun lang. I think literal
pero
talaga.
if pero if we consider it, a person, who would you consider as your peaceful place?
Peaceful place ko yung boyfriend ko. Ay,
Hmm.
ayun. Like for real, oo.
Shout out! Shout out naman dyan.
Oo. I mean, kung person lang din,
Hmm.
syempre, apart from, yung fate
Ah.
natin, 'di ba? Pero kung like, if person yung usapan, of course, it would be yung boyfriend
Hmm.
ko kasi, I've never felt like more comfortable,
Ah.
um, sa isang tao. Ayun.
Oo, yeah, yeah.
Mhm.
So, ayun, no? So, we all, we always say, di ba, na a peaceful place can either be a place itself, can be a food, it can be a person, it can be
Mm-mm.
a memory also, no, that you keep on reminiscing, no, at times. Pero for you, Lev, where do you find more peace? Let's say if you go on a vacation or if you're in the middle of a challenging situation.
I think I find peace kapag nasa, ano ba? Kasi kapag nasa vacation lang din ako, parang feeling ko di ako nakakatakas sa thoughts ko eh. Kasi vacation is just like physically nandun ka lang. Pero yung
Uh,
mind mo, it's still going somewhere. Kaya I can't say na
uh,
talagang kapag nasa bakasyon ako, talagang bakasyon. Kaya parang kapag nung nasa GDS ako, I rarely take leaves. Kasi kahit mag-leave ako
uh,
talagang, there's no peace.
uh, okay, okay.
Kaya I think it's safer to say na parang I find better, like, siguro sense of self or parang better peace
Mm.
kapag nasa challenging situation. Kasi at least, ang tawag dito, parang I get to talk to people na parang, alam mo yun?
Gets,
Mm-mm.
gets. Mm. Kasi
And,
there are some people who find the other way, no? Let's say if they really escape or run away from responsibilities, no? May mga ganun eh.
mm-mm.
So we respect naman, no, that side of people, no, who actually
Mm-mm.
find more peace in taking getaways, no, going. Ayan, sabi ni si Adrian ba to?
Yeah, si Adrian yan.
Ay, Adrian, minsan may peace sa online shopping. Anyway, so we know naman, no, that yun nga, like what we always say, na it really depends on the person kung ano
Mm-mm.
yung, how does he or she find peace, no, within himself or herself. Pero for you, Lev, what are your most significant activities, no, for you to say that you really unplugged yourself from all these responsibilities that you have?
Mm. I think yung masasabi ko na parang, ano na ako, I can let go kahit papano kapag
Ah,
nakakapanood na ako ng anime. Ay,
ah,
anime, ayan.
ah,
Kasi anime
ah,
kasi it requires attention eh. Kasi magbabasa ka ng subtitle, ganyan. Kaya kapag nakakapanood ako ng anime, ayun talaga yung time na, okay, feeling ko, I've done enough to take a break.
ah.
Or parang, ayun, nandun, ayun.
Parang small rewards, no? Every day at least, di ba?
Mm-mm.
Oh. It's necessary, actually, no, na to reward yourself also, despite, the busy schedule. Pero, Len, here's the question. Have you ever thanked yourself for doing a good job, no, of taking care of other people in spite of whatever is happening in your life?
And thinking myself, ano ba? Parang, ay, hindi. Parang, I really, siguro, find it hard to find self-worth. Ayun, I think yun yung
Uh,
isa sa mga pinaka-struggles ko ngayon. Like, how do I find self-worth or parang how do I boost my self-esteem or how do I put
mm,
myself on a higher place than I consider myself right now. Ayun yung mahirap, Kuya Von. Pero ayun, it's a challenge and it's something that I'm working
mm,
on. Pero currently, I can't say na, yun nga, I have
mm.
thanked myself.
Well,
Ayun.
it's fine, no? Kasi it depends naman eh. Kasi sometimes I got to talk to people, no? That they are too worried about their responsibilities na they thought na hindi nila kaya. Pero at the end of the day,
Mm-mm.
when they look back pala, they've really done so much, no? Na alam mo yun, minsan kasi it takes also an understanding na minsan kaya nangyayari din yung mga bagay-bagay kasi kakayanin din talaga
Mm.
natin.
Totoo.
And yesterday lang, may kausap, ito share ko lang din, Lev.
Mm-mm.
Yesterday, may kausap akong colleague at work, pero I will not mention the name for
Okay.
privacy. Parang yun nga, hindi ko na lang din ilalagyan ng pronoun. So the person,
Okay.
parang wala na lang talaga, yun, the person nga is actually, experiencing, din, hardships lately na,
Mm-mm.
uh, the person is feeling as if hindi siya na-appreciate ng family niya
Mm-mm.
kasi of what efforts yung ginagawa niya. Pero yun nga, sabi ko sa kanya, alam mo, it's really, I mean, you're just an instrument to that blessing that passes through yourself. Kasi kung wala silang capacity to be able to, uplift themselves. So actually, that's where you come in,
Mm-mm.
in your role in the family. Pero ayun, hopefully, I don't know kung ano yung take niya doon. Pero ayun, ganoon talaga, di ba?
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
Sabi, sabi ni Adrian, you drop this screen.
Supportive.
Adrian, kung may question ka, feel free to comment in the comment section down below.
Bilang ano na rin si Adrian, siguro drop ko na rin. Si Adrian yung isa sa mga friends like na I can really talk freely to. Walang inhibitions, no inhibitions. So kung mamamatay man ako, lahat ng mga lihim ko nandiyan kay Adrian.
Well, SGB based pa, di ba? Ayun,
Oo.
that. Ayun. So for you naman, Lev, no, let's just go back in your role, no, as a career woman. Actually, kukunan sana kita nung dun ng cameo video sa project ni GDS last time. Kaso na yung wait lang, may nag-chat. Sabi ni Adrian, ayun naman nakaramdam sa shoutout. Na-realize ko, baka hindi ko alam kung sa GDS email ko pala siya na copy ikaw.
Oo, oo.
Kaya sabi ko, ba't kayo hindi nag-respond si Levi sa email? Kaya yun, anyway.
Ay, naku, alam ko yun, kuya. Pati dito yung mga tao dito, like, lahat ng mga email sa atin nila napapadala dun sa luma kong email. Kaya,
Uh, pero, pero thank you sa survey kasi doon din ako nakahugot actually ng inspiration to do the film. Ayun. So ito naman Lev. So, di ba, if you remember doon sa survey, I asked you some questions about microaggression, di ba? Kasi
mm,
sometimes women at work feel that instance wherein you're being questioned about your capacity. to
Mm.
perform a certain role. So for you, if even if that becomes noisy, no, at work, na parang you're being you feel like that. So how do
Mm.
you ensure no that you're still performing or demonstrating your role to deliver trust and value at work?
I think it's just like more on building confidence lang din, kuya.
Mm.
Kasi parang, I mean, yung team ko ngayon din actually, we are like more dominated by men. So parang syempre,
Oh.
kapag nagsalita sila tapos parang medyo nakaka-intimidate din minsan, ganyan.
Uh,
Tapos English pa, hirap. Parang, okay lang naman, parang, din, tawag dito, siguro I just try to like build more confidence and of course
uh,
I mean to build confidence you have to be familiar or parang well versed on what you're talking about. So
mm,
parang siguro for women in workspace, though personally I haven't like experienced din naman yung outright like yung
mm,
outright na parang underestimation, parang ganun. I haven't
mm,
experienced that pero siguro nandun pa rin yung intimidation of being surrounded by men.
mm. Yeah, yeah, correct, no? Kasi yun nga, actually yung topic ko last week is that how do women take up space, no?
Mm-mm.
So, well, actually, it's really challenging to take up space when you're being shut down by other people, no? Kasi yun nga, sometimes, parang yun nga, if people tend to be so expressive, so it also takes a toll, no, on us, na okay, we become worried, we become uneasy, no? But yeah, it's
Mm-mm.
good na at least you have that thought in mind na well I am in this role because I know I can, no? And
Mm-mm.
people who put me in this role knows that I can. Ayun.
Yeah.
So ayun, speaking of ano naman Lev, I know you have a cat, 'di ba? Sabi mo
Mm.
pinasama mo nga siya sa sa mga trainings natin minsan.
Yeah.
Naalala ko nung training tayo ni Javi, yung yung may hindi ko nabigay sa inyo yung slide, tapos nagulat ako yung mga pusa, yung nilagay niyo dun sa sa mga names niyo. So if you would have if you would provide a characteristic of a cat Lev, no, in
Mm.
finding calm and chaos. So what can you share to us about the characteristics of a cat? Kasi syempre cats are sometimes hindi ko sure kung territorial ba yung cats.
Yeah,
They
they
want
are.
their own. Ayun, so what can you share about taking care of cats?
I think taking care of cats, parang,
Sorry everyone, there's a technical difficulty that we have experienced. I'll just get back Lemmy on the line again.
hello?
Hi Lem.
Ayan.
Pasen- Pasensya
Carry
naputol
on.
yung usapan natin. Anyway, so about cats no, yung natin topic kanina. So
Oo.
yung about characteristics of cats no in actually finding peace no in chaos as well. So what can you share about no in taking care of cats?
I think, in taking care of cats, based sa na-observe ko sa kanila, like ano lang sila, ano ba dito? Focused sila, na
Uh,
parang kapag meron silang ginagawa, yun lang, hindi mo sila madidistract. Kaya, yun yung parang pagiging calm nila even though like very chaotic na yung mga nangyayari. Kasi as long as they're like just focused on something or kapag may hinahabol sila, yun ang talaga
uh,
yung nahabulin nila. Na parang it really helps, I think, na parang i-apply din.
uh,
Like for myself. Kasi they don't get distracted like too often. Kaya yun.
oh, nice. Okay, okay. Ako kasi, yung thought ko about taking care of cats is that they're less
Low
maintenance to
maintenance.
take care.
Yeah,
No, no.
yun.
Low maintenance
Oo,
to take care of cats.
super.
And no? Tama, tama. So, tama
Mm-mm.
pala yun. Yung, ko din, naisip ko na when you take care of cats, hindi siya ganun complicated like how you take care of dogs. Kasi minsan yung
Oo.
aso sobrang maselan. Ayun. Nice. Sige,
Yes.
sige.
Ayun lang. Hindi kasi yung mga pusa kasi
Wait
kaya
lang.
mas prefer ko talaga pusa like over dogs. Although syempre love ko
Oh,
parehas, pero I think taking
ah,
care of cats yun nga you have just like less, yun nga, less maintenance talaga. Parang iwanan mo lang ng food dyan. Tapos, iwanan mo, kahit
Ah,
actually mag-iwan ka lang ng food, pwede kang umalis ng bahay, tapos balikan
oo
mo na
nga.
lang sila eh.
Oo.
Tapos,
Tama pala yun.
marunong silang gumamit ng litter box na automatic na sa kanila, ingrained na sa ano nila yon, sa instincts nila. Kaya I don't have to pick up poop na ginagawa sa aso.
Ah,
Kasi ang hirap i-train ng aso, di ba? Ayun. Kaya I think
mm,
yun yung mga factors why, syempre, overall, I prefer cats over
mm.
dogs.
So meaning to say, Balev, even though if when you take care of cats, that does that also build your ano no peace of mind as well. Let's say if you
Actually,
go out, kasi
mm-mm.
hindi sila alagain, no? Parang ganon.
Yeah, yeah, correct. Na parang, syempre ngayon, alam ko naman na nasa safe, ano sila, safe hands with my family.
Ah,
Sila
ah,
nag-aalaga. Pero, I mean, I'm not too worried. Kasi kahit iwan mo yan sa labas, like, kaya na lang maghanap ng food on their own. Ayun, syempre, I mean, quality-wise, hindi naman ganun ka-okay lahat ng food. Pero at least, alam mo kung mabuhay sila.
oh, nice, nice, nice. So ito, Lev, actually, ano, we're now down to the last, ano, no, set of questions that we have for today. So
Mm-hmm.
for you, siguro, my last few questions is that, despite sa, ano, no, sa mga nangyayari ngayon sa pandemic, so
Yeah.
what can you actually share to people who might be having some difficulties, no, in finding, peace and order in their lives,
Mm-mm.
despite what's happening right now.
Yeah, I think, siguro in finding peace, na parang know what triggers you. Ayun lang
Mm.
siguro, na parang being more self-aware of what siguro makes you feel less at peace, try to avoid them.
Oo.
Na parang even kung
Oo.
sabihin mo I mean, kasi di ba for some people, politics can get really like triggering for them. So if it can get triggering, syempre you have your stance naman, pero you don't have to like involve yourself every time naman. So siguro
Oo.
if ayun, kaya to find a peaceful or to be in a more peaceful state, try to be aware of what triggers you. Actually, journaling and siguro yun
Oo.
nga, listing,
Na-share mo yan sa akin. Na-share mo yan sa akin na dati. Ah.
di ba, kapag journal mo, like for example, ano ba nararamdaman ko today? Like, same lang din kasi I also have allergies din na hindi ko alam kung saan
Ah.
nanggagaling. Na kapag halimbawa kinain ko
Mm.
to, tapos bigla akong mangate all over, ililista ko siya. Pero moving forward, alam ko na, okay, sige, baka ito yung nag-trigger sa akin. So, same lang din, like
Mm.
overall with peace of mind, na alam ko, like certain things trigger me, kaya I avoid them. Like for example, sa social
Mm.
media, there are words or parang there are topics that I actually mute. Parang limited
Ah.
lang din yung nakikita ko, di ba? Kaya,
Ah.
ayun, I think that's what's important. Knowing and be more self-aware of what triggers you. And of course, blocking whatever those. Ayun. Ayun lang. Kasi kung peace lang naman talaga yung focus mo. Pero like, you can face those triggers naman if you really want to address them. Pero if priority mo yung
Oo.
peace for yourself, I think it's very
Mm.
important to remove those triggers muna.
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So ito naman, Lev, no, di ba, everything that's happening in social media right now seems to be perfect kasi, na parang
Hmm.
people post happy photo. Well, I don't have anything against, no, kasi ako din naman, ganun din naman, no,
Hmm.
na we tend to really post what actually looks good in life,
Yeah.
no. So if you see those kind of deeds, no, that people does in their respective lives, so how do you keep yourself, believe na parang okay, this is my pace, this is where I'm at now.
Mm-mm.
So, well, I'm gonna be fine. So how do you cope up with that situation if ever you tend to feel like, okay, there's a lot of good things that's happening in other
Mm-mm.
people's lives right now, and then here I'm at in my current situation. So how do you do that?
I think siguro for most part, I'm happy for them. Pero syempre,
Mm.
minsan, yun nga, di mo ka maiwasan na parang nahuhuli na ba ako, na parang, ay,
Oo,
buti
oo.
pa sila, ganyan, ay, ako, nasan na ako, parang, alam mo yun, parang hindi ko pa I
Oo.
mean, hindi pa ako like, hindi ko pa masabi sa sarili ko na established adult, parang ganon. And
Ah,
siguro yung parang more of ano ko na lang is siguro for myself is ayun nga trying sorry parang more of avoidance talaga siya. Na parang
ah,
until hindi ko na overcome yung feeling of enviousness. Eh tama ba yung envy pala?
mm,
Enviousness. Yung
mm.
envy.
Ay, may term na ganun, I think. Ah,
Yung envy saka yung jealousy until
mm,
hindi ko siya na-overcome, I won't like take a look or parang siguro
mm.
i-ignore ko lang yung mga ganun. Tapos until kapag halimbawa until such time that I was able to like yun nga compartmentalize my thoughts na okay things
Oo.
will be fine na parang I'm moving at the right pace for myself.
Mm.
Ayun. So parang dami-daming rationalization na nangyayari kuya na parang kung
Ah,
iisipin ko ba't ako nandito ngayon na parang nag-look back ako palagi. Look back procedures, Chuck. Yung parang nag-look back ako na
ah,
parang, ano ba, kung nangyari to sa akin noon, ano kaya yung mangyayari sa, I mean, kung ganito na yung na-achieve ko dati or kung nakapunta na ako sa ganitong edad
ah,
dati, kakayanin ko ba? Or was I ready
ah,
that at that time? Na parang do I have like the emotional maturity that time to handle the
yeah, yeah,
situations
yeah.
na
Oo,
mafe-face ko
oo.
if nandun man ako sa situation na yun.
Ah,
Kaya parang yun na yung rationalization ko
agree,
palagi
agree. Oo.
na parang
Ay,
ano ba?
tama.
Kaya parang ayun, kaya sabi ko 'di ba nandito naman na ako na parang feeling ko emotionally mas stable na ako than
Ah,
before. And
ah,
I think mentally I am more prepared than I was before. Kaya I believe na
mm,
this was the right time na talaga. Kaya
yes.
ayun, yun talaga more of like ano
Oo.
talaga siya eh. Like you have to fight your own thoughts
Oo,
yun.
ang ganda. Wait, Lev, ang ganda ng realization na yan. Kasi di ba dati pinag-uusapan lang natin yan then sa mga chats,
Mm-mm.
mga separate chats natin sa office. And I believe, I agree, no, na lahat din kasi talaga ng pinagdaanan mo, specifically, no, sa career, actually made a way, no, to be your strength right now. And
Mm-mm.
I really, I'm really happy for you for what you've, achieved in life. Well, yes, tatay. Pero honestly, no, alam ko naman yung mga ano mo, Lev, no, yung mga sinishare mo ding thoughts, no, and concerns. And it's really no, deserving for you no, to have those right now. And sabi nga nila, di ba, the things that we prayed for in the past, no, is
Mm-mm.
actually happening in its own time. And
Yes,
sometimes,
yes.
if we are in those moments already, all we need to do is just to look back, no, and be grateful. So tama naman yan.
Mm-mm.
You're
Oo.
on. Eto, so perhaps ano na lang, last two questions no for this topic. So if ever no, 'di ba you remember my first question earlier was that when you were a child, how did you view the world
Mm-mm.
outside, no? But right now in your current state no in life, so how do you view the world right now?
Ano ba? I still believe na marami pa akong need explore and the world is an oyster, di ba? Parang ganun.
Oyster, yeah.
Tapos, pero I have my, ano na, I have this, siguro, ano ba? I have the motivation na siguro to explore na
Mm.
parang I want na, nandun na ako sa point na yun.
Ah,
Na before I was just like, parang nandito lang ako sa shell ko, I don't want to go out. Kasi, ayun nga, natatakot
mm.
ako. Ewan ko, ang daming fears. Pero ngayon, o yun, unti-unti na siyang na-overcome. Which is, I think, good. Siguro for me, ha? I mean, syempre, kanya-kanya naman yan. Pero
Ah,
personally, I believe it's a step towards improvement or parang self-improvement. Ayun.
Nice, nice. Ang ganda no. Kasi kanina sabi mo nga, you were kind of reserved, syempre,
Mm-mm.
no, at the start. And then now, you have this courage to really do the things, no, that you can actually help you also build your self-esteem, self-confidence, and the
Mm-mm.
like. Sorry, may last question pa pala ako before the last
Ay,
question.
sige, go lang.
So ito, di ba we mentioned kanina, no, that in finding for your peaceful place, it can either be a place or a
Mm-mm.
person or whatever. So if there's not siguro one person naman. So okay, if there are people whom you want to actually experience that kind of thing as well, no? So who would that be?
That feeling of, sorry, yung feeling of peace?
Yeah, yeah, finding peace as well.
Ano ba? Siguro si, pwede ba mag-drop ng name?
Ikaw,
Or
depende
parang
sa'yo.
general
Depende sa'yo.
lang. Hindi, syempre, I mean,
Hmm.
may mga nakakausap din ako mga colleagues in GDS before
Hmm.
that are also going through the same. Na parang, syempre, kanya-kanyang pace naman yan. Pero I know that
Ah,
they deserve
agreed,
the
agreed.
world, they deserve better things, and parang ang hirap. I mean, nandun ka to validate them actually, na
Yeah,
parang they
yeah.
deserve better things, ganyan. Pero, ang mahirap din syempre yung tao na to convince them na, yeah, I am worth it. Ayun. Kaya siguro, one of my colleagues na lang din back in GDS, one of our close colleagues na lang din, if, kilala mo kayo?
Ah, ah, ah.
Kaya yun.
Sige, sige. Sige.
Kaya I think, for now, siya yung naiisip ko. Kasi, I mean, out of all people, na, ayun, I
Hmm.
think she really deserves
Correct,
it.
agree. Yeah, I support that. I support that. And last question, Lev. No? So, with all the things that you have experienced in life, and up until now that you share your story with us,
Mm-mm.
no? So how would you describe your story in just one word and why?
Paano ba? Teka lang, ang hirap. I think, siguro, kahit ano, no? Kahit ano.
Kahit ano lang.
I think, ano siya, I think the best one that describes parang my entire life for now, siguro, is parang ocean.
Okay. Yeah.
Kasi, I mean, ocean can sometimes be like very peaceful, pero most of the
Oh,
time, it can parang ang daming like waves na hindi mo masasabi.
oh,
Kasi di ba
ang ganda.
parang wala namang like alon forecast.
Oo.
Kaya ayun, parang mahirap kasi i-predict yung mafe-feel ko. Ang hirap ma-predict yung mararamdaman ko at this particular point in
Mm.
time. Kaya, I mean,
Mm.
even though na ocean can be like as unpredictable as it is, pero like yung underneath it, like there's a lot of things that
Yeah,
people just need to explore to get it to know it
yeah,
more.
yeah.
Kaya ayun. Kaya siguro I'm starting to open up myself a bit na lang din to people. Compared before na talagang super ganun talaga ako. Kaya, ayun. I think, ayun.
Ang ganda, oh my God, Leva, Leva, ang ganda niyan. Naalala ko tuloy, actually, I had this in mind before we started our interview, no? So
Mm.
last night, I was thinking of a verse that I want to share with you about how Peter was tested by God in the
Mm.
ocean, in the seas, no?
Ah, 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 ah.
So, di ba, hindi ko lang alam yung totoong verse talaga na yon. Pero di ba, that's where his faith was tested, no?
Mhm.
Because even though despite the storm that's happening outside, no, he lost faith. Pero yun nga, he was reminded na you of little faith should just need to trust, no, me of what's
Correct.
happening around you because you'll
Yes.
find peace in God as well. Ang ganda. Lev, alam mo, nag-connect tuloy yung ano, yung ito yung na-appreciate ko lagi kapag may mga episode is because I don't know, I always pray that me and my guest will just be sharing no authentic insights as well.
Ah,
So
ah.
yun yung maganda kasi nagko-connect even though hindi tayo nag-usap, di ba, about the
True.
questions and about what I
Mm.
will share. Ang ganda, sobrang guided ng usapan natin. And I really appreciate no, people when they actually share from the heart. And it's actually so deep no, that you can describe your experiences into an ocean. And ayun, siguro just to ano na lang, just to culminate our discussion, Lev. So I just want to share a message to you as well. No? So this is my
Ah,
prayer for
sige.
you. I hope that you ano no continue to be well. Number one, continue to be yourself. No, it doesn't matter what people will say to you as long as you know who you are. You know your vulnerabilities. You know how you can surpass them, and you know that you have a purpose in life. Now that
Mm.
you're able to share to other people. And I'm glad no that even though hindi man tayo nagka-work talaga directly,
Yeah.
pero you're one of my ano to tawag dito. One of the people whom I enjoy working with in terms of facilitation.
Yeah.
Kasi
Same here,
ano,
same.
di ba, yung mga experiences natin sa facilitation is really one of the things now that I really enjoy doing, even though it's not engagement
Mm.
related. Pero we get to talk about things in life. Ayun. So that's it, Lev. Yeah, I continue to pray for you to be also an instrument to share other your thoughts to other people to also help them to pass through what their situation is right now.
Thank you,
Ayun.
Kuya.
Thank
Same to
you
you
again so much,
din.
Lev. Thank you so much. No, I really appreciate your time. I know it's Friday there, no, in
Mm-mm.
your place, pero you still took the time, no, to have this discussion. And once again, thank you so much, Lev. And for now, just stay. Ay, wait lang. Pahabol lang pala. So I want to thank
Ah.
you for being one of my pilot customers in
Ay.
Mr. Actually, ito yun.
Oo.
So, so thank you so much for supporting my small business as well. And
Mm.
next time when I get to see you, I'll give you some complimentary items.
Ay, wow, thank you. Sige. Kuya Bon, like,
Ayun.
in doing
Uh,
this, like, you've been very consistent din sa ganito, and I know you're one of the person na I'm very comfortable talking to, especially sa mga career
uh,
matters, alam mo yan. And, parang ikaw
mm,
yung, ano ko ba, parang, yung parang ikaw yung, kapag na-overwhelm ako ng emotions, diba, remember, kapag may mga
uh,
share ako, parang nandun ka, like, to be a voice of reason in a way. Kaya I believe na parang,
mm,
syempre, pinapadaan din ni Lord yung like you being a blessing
mm.
to other people. Kaya yan.
Mm.
Yan.
Yay, thanks, Ned. Same as you, no? Same as you. I can also share with you, no, my thoughts on my frustrations, my worries at work, in my career, if I'm doing it uh, as planned ba for myself or it's really God's plan din for me. And I
Mm-mm.
appreciate those conversations we have. I look forward to see you. No? Malapit lang
Yes.
naman.
Yeah.
So
Kuya,
let's see,
yes.
let's see. Let's see. Ayun, for now, let's just enjoy wherever we are because I know that's plan as well now for our life. Ayun.
Ah,
Thanks again, Len. I'll give back your time now so that you can also do your thing there in your place. And for now, just stay safe and healthy and also uh, good health and full of love as well for your family and other loved ones. All right?
thank you,
Sige.
Kuya Vo. Yeah,
Thank
you too.
you.
Take
Thank
care.
you.
Take
Bye-bye.
care. Have a great
Take care. Take care
weekend.
also.
Bye-bye.
Yeah. Bye-bye. Press X lang.
Mm-mm.
That was it. It was very inspiring to talk again to Levi, no? And I'm very grateful for her as well when she shared what she's going through. And I hope that you have learned a thing or two again, no, in our conversation. I'm looking forward to talk to you again soon. And yeah, for my audience, yes, my audience. So I am really happy now that everyone is supporting the episodes. And just feel free to let me know your thoughts as well here on IGTV, in my YouTube channel, Wonder Gonzalez, and in Facebook page, What is My Story Today. So see you again next weekend. Happy Saturday. God bless.